Okay, so I am going to go ahead and go through the Module 11 study guide with you. Hopefully you can look over it before the test tomorrow. So angles B and Q are. So this is just asking you to find angles B and Q and tell me what relationship they have. Okay. Well, are they alternate interior angles? No, because they are on the same side of the transversal. Are they alternate exterior angles? Again, same side of the transversal, so they cannot be alternate. Same side interior angles. Well, Q is an interior angle, but if you look at B, it is outside. You remember our hamburger bun and the patty. It's outside the patty. B is in the bun, so therefore it cannot be same side interior angles. However, they are in the same position, but on two different parallel lines. Therefore, they would be corresponding angles. Okay, for number 2, it said identify the correct statement. So we're going to go ahead and look at all of these angles and see which ones are correct. It's asking for vertical angles. So it says 2 and 3, here's 2 and here's 3, are vertical angles. That is correct. But let me just double check the rest of my work. So 2 and 3 are vertical angles. 2 and 4. Well, 2 and 4 cannot be vertical angles because they share one side. 5 and 6 cannot be vertical angles because they also share a side. And the same thing, 1 and 5 cannot be vertical angles because they are not opposite of each other. Those are corresponding angles. Okay, number 3 also tells you to identify the correct statement. So we have angle A and angle B. So this is talking about, all of our options are talking about the measure of angle B. So we are trying to find what the measure of angle B is. Well, it says the measure of angle B is 82. The measure of angle B is 98. The measure of angle B is 180. And the measure of angle B is 8. Well, I can look at this and I said, okay, well, what information do we have? We have these two angles, 82 degrees and 98 degrees. However, 98 degrees does not fall in any of the relationships that we've already learned about. So let's look at 82 degrees. These are on the opposite side or alternate side. And they are both inside the meat. So alternate interior angles. And what do we know about alternate interior angles? They are congruent. So the measure of angle B must be 82 degrees. Number 4 also asks you to identify the correct statement. So we are given these two angles, 64 degrees and 116 degrees. Those are same side interior angles. But it's asking what the measure of angle D is. I can look at the 64 degrees and the measure of angle D, and I see that those are vertical angles. And because they are vertical angles, they must be congruent, which means they are the same. So therefore, the measure of angle D must be 64 degrees. Okay, so now the measure of angle A, or if angle A measures 50 degrees, find the measure of angle Q. So the first thing I'm going to do is it's telling me that A is 50 degrees. So I'm just going to go ahead and write 50 degrees here. So now I need to do angle Q. Let's see. Those are not corresponding angles because they are not in the same place along the parallel and the transversals. They're not vertical angles because they don't share a vertex. They're not alternate exterior because Q is an interior angle. They are not alternate interior because A is an exterior angle. They are not on the same side of the transversal, so I know they can't be the same side angles. So how am I going to figure this out? Well, it gives me the measure of angle A is 50 degrees, so I can find the measure of angle D since they are vertical angles. So angle A and angle D are vertical angles. I know that they must be congruent. Therefore, D is 50 degrees. Now I have same side interior angles. And remember, if it starts with an S, I can remember that angle D and angle Q, are same side interior because they're inside. But remember, if it's a same side, it starts with S, so it must be supplementary, which means the sum equals 180 degrees. There you go. So you know where the new steps start. So that means that I need to take the measure of angle D, which is 50 degrees, plus the measure of angle Q, which we don't know, and make it equal 180 degrees. Which means we would need to solve by subtracting 50 from both sides. And that leaves us with the measure of angle Q is 130 degrees. Therefore, my answer would be C.